On Saturday, June 12, 1993, Nigerians trooped to the polls to elect a president for the country. Across the length and breadth of the country, in every city, town, village, farmstead and hamlet, in every nook and corner, people trooped to the polling units in large numbers. Voter turnout was massive, unprecedented in the history of the country. The electors conducted themselves in a peaceful, civilized and orderly manner. Everyone who witnessed the election, including the international observers, described it as Nigeria's most credible. At the end of the day, a clear winner had emerged. Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola of the Social Democratic Party SDP had defeated his main rival Bashiru Tofa of the National Republican Convention NRC. It was difficult for anyone to controvert the election result as it was conducted under a unique electoral system whereby voters were required to queue behind their preferred candidate and were thereafter counted manually. Across the length and breadth of Nigeria, voters defied the vagaries of weather conditions to take their space on the queue and wait in line patiently to be counted. There were no secret ballot or ballot boxes or any such thing. Everything was done in the open. This made the election to be generally adjudged as transparent, credible, free, fair, orderly, and peaceful. Moshood Abiola's opponent, Bashiru Tofa, had accepted defeat and had prepared his concession speech. But alas, midway into the official announcement of election results, the military dictator, General Ibrahim Babangida, announced to a bewildered nation that the election has been cancelled. Shock, anguish, anger, and disbelief greeted the announcement all across Nigeria and throughout the civilized world. Nigerians voiced their total rejection of the annulment, and the international community threw its weight in support behind the populace.
We don't want Babangida again, and we want M.K.O.
Who's M.K.O?
Abiola.
But General Ibrahim Babangida stood his ground. Thus began a 5-year excruciating struggle to get the military to reverse the annulment and enthrone Moshood Abiola as Nigeria's democratically elected president. A turbulent, chaotic and unstable period ensued. For many months, Nigeria was on lockdown. Schools, businesses, markets, offices and many civic centers could not open. Protests, unrest and disturbances became the order of the day. Workers' unions declared nationwide strike. The Francis Ovie Kokori-led Nupeng was the most adamant as its workers, the petrol tanker drivers, refused to lift petroleum products from the depots to the fuel stations, thereby paralyzing movement of people and invariably sending socio-economic activities to a grinding halt. Protests erupted in different parts of the country and began to spread like Hamatan wildfire. In response, the military junta rolled out the tanks, soldiers, and the guns. Soldiers were seen shooting protesters with live bullets. Corpses of peaceful protesters littered the streets of some towns and cities. But in spite of this, the protests and unrest continued. The June 12 struggle is hereby born. In this presentation, 724 Chronicles sought out a member of a group which kick-started the June 12 pro-democracy struggle so as to obtain a first-hand account of the series of activities which defied the 5-year struggle. Oloye Lekun Alabi is a very senior Ibadan traditional chief. He is the Maye Olubadan of Ibadan land. He is a legendary media figure and a living witness of the entire June 12 struggle.
Until recent times, retired General Babangida didn't tell us Nigerians, nor the world, the reason why his government annulled the June 12, 1993 presidential election. He just suddenly appeared on national network that the June 12 election had been cancelled and that his government, that's the military government, federal military government headed by him, will organize another election within 3 months. The whole world was shocked beyond belief that before you could say you are annulling election, what were the faults? What were the reasons, discovered or undiscovered? But Babangida couldn't give us a reason. So as this documentary is being recorded and transmitted, Babangida or any of his officials are yet to give us convincing reasons why they annulled the June 12, 1993 presidential election.
With General Babangida insisting that the June 12, 1993 election remains annulled, and with Moshood Abiola, together with a wide section of Nigerians, insisting that there will be no peace unless the annulment is reversed, the die is cast.
The Nigerian voters of 1993 cut across religious, tribal, social, economic classes in this country for the first time. For the first time. Yoruba, Igbo, Fulani, Hausa, Junkun, Tiv, Ibibio, all tribes of Nigeria voted for M.K.O. Abiola, the presidential candidate of the Socio-Democratic Party.
So, for the first time, Nigeria's electorate rose above material inducements, ethno-religious divide, or tribal sentiments to choose their leader. If this trend had been sustained, it would have ushered Nigeria into positive socio-political development, but the military junta aborted it.
That the presidential election was generally seen to be free, fair, and peaceful. However,
the annulment led Oloye Lekan Alabi and his compatriots in the Association for Democracy in Nigeria, ADIN, to defy the military junta by staging the World Press Conference, which triggered off a chain of other events that culminated into the June 12 struggle. Any government would consider ADIN's defiance as an act of insurrection and would naturally attend to it as a treasonable felony. ADIN members have therefore willy-nilly triggered the commencement of a vicious struggle as other pro-democracy groups sprang up all over the country to join ranks with ADIN to tackle the military junta. The pressure from the numerous activists and pro-democracy groups forced General Ibrahim Babangida to resign from office on August 27, 1993, leaving behind a hurriedly composed contraption he called Interim National Government, led by a hand-picked civilian, Chief Ernest Shonekon. The Shonekon-led government was given a mandate to organize another presidential election within 3 months. This arrangement was met with stiff resistance by the June 12 pro-democracy activists. No going back on the June 12 mandate, they chorused. Since the military government would not budge, the struggle became intensified. Barely 3 months after his appointment as chairman of the Interim National Government, Chief Ernest Shonekon would be shoved aside and his Interim National Government dissolved by another military junta, Lieutenant General Sani Abacha, in a bloodless coup on November 17, 1993.
Consequently, the following decisions come into immediate effect. The interim national government is hereby dissolved. The national and state assemblies are also dissolved. The state executive councils are dissolved. The brigade commanders are to take over from the governors in their states until administrators are appointed.
However, the June 12 pro-democracy struggle, rather than abate, got more intensified. General Abacha clamped down on the June 12 activists, pro-democracy organizations, and their sympathizers. Many were abducted from their homes and clamped into prison, some never to be seen till this day. Some were murdered in their homes. Some others were gunned down while they moved about on the highway. The acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 election, Moshood Abiola, was arrested and thrown into detention. Indeed, Abacha and his men were on the rampage to cripple, maim, or destroy anyone and anything opposed to the regime. The prevailing mood across Nigeria got more tense. Despair and despondency became the order of the day. The situation looked grim. As the harassment, murder, and detention of perceived opponents of the junta continued, many activists went underground. Some fled into exile, while many others openly refused to cooperate with the military regime. Chaos, turbulence, trepidation, uncertainty, and a general atmosphere of fear enveloped the country. General Abacha ruled the country with an iron fist. Amidst the atmosphere of tension and fear, he spared no one. History remembers him as the most brutal, the most draconian, and the most repressive leader Nigeria has ever had. In spite of General Abacha's repressive efforts and clampdowns, the activists managed to keep the struggle alive while the junta continued to hold on to the reins of government. This state of affairs would last for 5 years until General Abacha's sudden death under mysterious circumstances on June 8, 1998. Chief Moshood Abiola, the symbol of the June 12 struggle, would also die a month later, on July 7, 1998, under controversial circumstances while still in detention. He was 60 years old. Chief Abiola's death sounded a death knell on the June 12 agitations and made it possible for the General Abdulsalami Abubakar-led military government to guide Nigeria into its fourth republic without having to contend with the attendant issues that the June 12, 1993 election carries. Although Chief Abiola's death heralded the death of the June 12 pro-democracy struggles, the ghost of June 12 has refused to die and continues to haunt the Nigerian society till this day. This has been a 724 Chronicles. Kindly share this video among your friends and network. We also implore you to drop your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Thank you for watching.